Okay, so in some football news today, Reading FC have had their transfer embargo lifted. Now, the EFL implemented this transfer embargo 2 years ago in the summer of 2021. It's been in place ever since then. It has had an impact on the team on the field. They have struggled in recent times. They've sacked managers in recent times. Last season was a disaster. They were hit with a 6-point deduction, which ultimately led to their relegation from the Championship. They've also been hit with three charges from the Football League for a failure to pay their players on time for 3 separate occasions last season. They've also been hit with a winding up order from HM Revenue and Customs over an unpaid tax bill, which may have been potentially settled depending on the reports that you read, although they are due in court on August the 9th as things currently stand. Now, if they have settled out of court, they don't obviously have to go to court, but there is the ongoing tax situation. Fan groups also want the owner, Dai Young, who's owned the club since 2017, to sell up. So the transfer embargo being lifted does help the club in a certain aspect. They are now allowed to pay transfer fees again. For the last 2 years, they've only been allowed to sign players on loan or those players who are free agents on free transfers. So that has limited the ability to strengthen their squad and make sure their team is competitive. Now, last season was a disaster. The fact that they still have these 3 outstanding charges against them for failure to pay players means they could start this coming season with a points deduction, which could be problematic. They've lost some of their best players to other clubs, which is a problem. So they've lost some key pieces, and they've gone through managers quite a bit. They've had a fair few managers since Dai Young has owned the club. Now, the concerns from fan groups have led local politicians to raise concerns in Parliament. So this has reached the Houses of Parliament now, that not only Reading but other clubs as well. This is an ongoing issue, and we can link this in, I suppose, to an independent footballing regulator, because the EFL allowed Dai Young, to pass the fit and proper persons test, the director's test. He was seen as fit to be a football club owner by the Football League. So questions have to be asked about that process. Now, Reading are not the only club to have financial issues right now. We know Southend United also face a winding up order from HMRC and also have their financial issues. Now, they've fallen out of the Football League. This is not getting the attention it would do if Reading, were a Premier League club. If Reading was still in the Premier League and were in this situation, I do believe, honestly, that this would get a lot more attention. It hasn't had the same amount of attention that Derby County had last year, and Chelsea last year, with their ownership issues. Partly because those clubs have been more established in the top flight over lengthy periods of time. They both won the league. They've been very, very successful clubs. Reading have been less successful historically. So it is troubling that yet another club is facing the potential of administration, the potential of another points deduction. This is becoming more and more frequent. It seems that the Football League, the Premier League and the FA have learnt nothing from the Bury and Macclesfield collapses, either side of 2020-2021. Bury obviously going in 2019, Macclesfield going at the end of the COVID-disrupted 2020-2021 season. And this is a worrying trend that is continuing. So we'll see what happens. We'll see if Reading can fight these 3 charges that the EFL have put against them. We'll find out if they have actually resolved their outstanding tax bill, and we'll see if they start next season with a further points deduction, because last season they were deducted points and they were relegated from the Championship. So we'll see how this plays out, but their transfer embargo at least has now been lifted. So let's see what happens in the next coming weeks. The start of next season is not that far away, if we're being honest, and this court date, the 9th of August, is a key date should their unpaid tax bill reach that. From certain reports, it's been potentially settled. Other reports are saying that the court date is still set there to deal with their unpaid tax. So we'll see what happens there, but troubling times at the Royals. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Place your thoughts below. I want to hear from Reading fans how you feel about how the Football League has dealt with this situation, how Dai Young, the owner, has dealt with this situation. He's not a very popular owner, and what the future looks like for this football club, because they haven't been in the 3rd tier of English football for over 2 decades. So this is uncharted territory for a lot of Reading fans who've either only ever seen the club in the Championship or the Premier League, who've never actually witnessed the club in League One, the old 3rd division. So we'll see what happens. But from me, for now, thank you very much for watching, and I'll have some more content for you very very soon.